What are some effective tools and exercises for validating a business idea beyond traditional market research?
Well, whatever business decision that you take or business idea that you want to get associated with, you need to have absolutely proper research done. As a serial entrepreneur, I'm into multiple businesses. What I basically do is my learning curve should be achieved in 30 to 90 days max. I need to dig so deep into that particular domain knowledge or that particular subject that at the end of the 90th day, that's the last patch of time, not beyond 90 days. You need to be as knowledgeable as anybody in that particular industry. Like for example, 2.5, 3 years back, almost 2.5 years back, I ventured into the restaurant space, Sante Spa Cuisine. It's a vegetarian vegan food restaurant of global cuisine made in one restaurant in a single location, every location of Sante. Now, I didn't know anything about restaurants before I ventured into it, but today I have studied so much about the restaurant as a sector, as a business industry, that I can talk on this subject anywhere, anytime without any preparation. So you need to be knowledgeable because you need to be taking the right decisions, you need to be moving in the right direction, you need to get associated with the right sets of people, teams of people, you need to be in the right ecosystem of that particular business sector. Now all of this can happen only when you know that sector well. Thanks to technology, the whole world has become a small village. Thanks to technology, every information is available, and the people that you can't meet in person, they're available online. And the people you want to meet in person, you need to meet with them and have dialogues, have conversations. I always love to tell people that as entrepreneurs, we need to have a very fertile and a very fluid ecosystem, people from all walks of life, where you can validate the moves that you are making in your personal, professional, as well as business life. You get fantastic insights from other people. At least you will get warned of what not to do. And business is a very expensive process. If you take wrong decisions, you not only lose money, but you also lose something that you can't earn back, and that's your time. Yeah. So you really need to be well informed. You really need to be well qualified in the business sector that you are getting into. So conversations with people from the same sector, conversations from people who are into multiple sectors and also that sector, conversations with customers from that sector. You get me? And before you get into any sector, the best way of learning is by becoming a customer in that particular sector. So if I want to invest into restaurants, I will visit 20 restaurants and try to understand on how does this sector operate? How do I get treated as a customer? What are my expectations vis-a-vis the reality? So that when I start that particular business, I should not have those loopholes or those gaps which I can witness as a customer by being in a particular restaurant. So this is just one example, but you really need to validate every decision that you take. So it will be friends, relatives, people from that particular sector, people that you can research on in the online space, and also by being a customer in the sector that you want to be a part of. So these are the policies that I use. Like I'm into real estate development. I really have taken a lot of efforts and learned the nuances of real estate, on how an architect thinks, how a contractor thinks, how to define the size of the land, the technicalities of that project, the valuations of that project, how to do fund management for that project. So I've really studied and mastered to a great extent. Now your peers in the industry are your best teachers. The customer of that industry is your good teacher. The vendors in that sector are your good teachers. So you really need to identify these people and start getting into a absolutely interactive conversation. And for a couple of days, when you get into that particular sector, every day the information that you process needs to be of that particular sector, so that you are imbibing the best functionalities of that sector before you venture into it, or before you step into it, before you invest and get into action in that particular direction or for that particular business. So that's the policy that I follow. A lot of people might be following a similar policy or might be having some difference in what they do vis-a-vis what I do in getting into a new direction or a new sector or a new segment or a new business. But it is interesting to get into new sectors all the time for serial entrepreneurs like me. But for an entrepreneur who wants to start a new business, I think these kind of steps will be definitely extremely helpful.
Are you interested in film business as well?
Well, as I'm doing this show with you, you're a film star. Definitely, film industry is one sector that I'm going to be interested in, content creation, filmmaking. So if you want to live multiple lives, you make one movie, because what you must have missed as a gap in your personal life, you can actually see it happening in the movie that you produce. So it's a beautiful way of storytelling. Also, when you make a film, you're actually learning discipline, and you also learn man management and talent management. In a film, what I have seen very closely, I've been a part of a Marathi film in the past, almost 10 to 12 years back. But when you make a film, you actually learn man management, and beyond learning man management, you also learn how to manage multiple egos at the same time. Because the actors, the directors, the writer, all of them have egos, and you really need to manage those egos as you go along producing that film or making that film.
Okay. This is a good news for some directors who they are looking for fund. So Mr. Rajesh is here. You can approach him anytime.